Hello students, welcome to our lecture on Fatwa-e-Jahandari by Ziauddin Barani. We'll see that Ziauddin Barani is one of the most influential and most important thinker during the Delhi Sultanate. He has composed his Fatwa-e-Jahandari, which throws a great deal of light on the statecraft during the medieval period as well as during the Sultanate period. Also, we see that this Fatwa-e-Jahandari is mainly based on the class character, and it's one of the finest work on the statecraft during the medieval period. So now we see that Ziauddin Barni was born in Baran region, which is in the Doab region, during 1283, and he has served under Muhammad bin Tughlaq for 27 years. He has also served under Firuz Shah Tughlaq for 6 years. So during his serving as a courtier of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he started his Fatwa-e-Jahandari, from which we can get an important aspect about the nature of the state during the Sultanate period. Also, we can know about the statecraft during the medieval period. Now, we should also know the other important works of Ziauddin Barni. So, we see that apart from Fatwa-e-Jahandari, the other important works of Ziauddin Barni are Tariq-e-Firuz Shahi, which he composed when he was serving, or he was a courtier under Firuz Shah Tughlaq. Also, another important work is Tariq-e-Barmaki, another famous and important work. Apart from these three works, that is Fatwa-e-Jahandari, Tariq-e-Firuz Shahi and Tariq-e-Barmaki, he has composed many other works which are not fully available to us, and we see that these three books has been an important source for knowing about the statecraft during the medieval period. So now we see that the Fatwa-e-Jahandari throws the light on the theory of kingship. First, we should know that Barani himself was a noble born, and he gave importance to the noble birth of the people. He was made to think like that from his childhood, that only noble born people, that is people who are born in a noble family, are capable of ruling a state. So in his theory of kingship, Barani has mentioned in his Fatwa-e-Jahandari that only a noble born person can be king. King should be noble born. He has also mentioned that king should follow the Shariat, even if he does not follow the Shariat in ruling of the state, but he should follow the Shariat in his personal life. So Barni gives us an idea that the king should be noble born, he should follow the Shariat. Apart from this, Barni also gives us an idea about the divine right of kingship, which was followed during the medieval period or during the Sultanate period. We see that the divine right of kingship says that the king is a representative of God on earth, and thus the people or the subjects are not supposed to question the king. This was another thing that we can know from the Fatwa-e-Jahandari of Barni, that the divine right of kingship was prevailed in the Sultanate period. So king was despotic and he cannot be questioned by the subject. Next, we see that during this period, that is during the Delhi Sultanate, the king had given religious equality. How can we know that? We can know that from the fact that in administration, upper class Muslims had an upper hand or had an influence. The upper class Muslim played an important role in the administration of the state, whereas the economy of the state was completely in the hands of the upper class Hindus. So both Hindus and Muslims were given important positions in administration and the economy respectively. Thus we can say that the Delhi Sultans were not religious bigots, they had given religious equality to their subjects. Also, we see that during this time, what was the nature of the state? If you want to know the nature of the state, we can say whether it was a theocratic state or not. Now, what is theocracy? Theocracy means following religion. So does the Delhi Sultanate was a state which followed only religious policy? From Barani's Fatwa-e-Jahandari, we can say that the Delhi Sultanate was not a theocratic state, because the king ruled the empire based on a new set of law which was known as Zawait. Zawait was a different set of law, completely different from the Shariat. Shariat was the religious laws, but king ruled the state following the Zawait. So we can say that Delhi Sultanate was not a theocratic state, and the religious equality quite prevailed during the rule of the Sultanate. Next we see about the nobles or the nobility. Also here we see that Barani warns the king that the nobility should be selected carefully, and every individual nobility should be carefully selected by the king, because nobles are an important part of the administration. And we see the nobles were given the land in which they have to take the revenue. From this we can get an idea about the Iqta system that prevailed during the Delhi Sultanate. The Iqta system was a system of land grant, that is, land was given to the nobles in lieu of their salary, and the nobles used to give in return revenue to the king's treasury or to the king. So the noble who were given the land were known as the Iqtadars, and the land which was given to the noble for acquiring revenue came to be known as the Iqta. So Iqta basically means land. Now we see that the nobility played an important role in the Iqtadari system, and gradually the nobility became more powerful than the king as the land was under their control. Next we see that justice played an important part in Barani's concept, and Barani said that justice is needed everywhere in remittance of land taxes or in supplying the commodities or products to the buyers in a just price. For this, Barani introduced the price control policy. He said that the price of all the products should be fixed so that the monopoly of the merchants should be crushed. For this price control theory, he has said that the Diwani Riyasat and the Shahnai Mandi should take control of the price of each commodity, and they should fix the price of the commodities of the market so that the monopoly of the merchants could be crushed. Another thing that he said about the justice is that the two sets of courts were formed, that is, two sets of court should be formed, or two sets of court were formed, that is civil court and criminal court, for offering justice. And we see that in provincial level as well as in central level these courts used to function. So there were two types of courts, civil and criminal courts, which function in provincial as well as in central level. Now we see that there were chief qazis for giving justice to the people. Apart from that, the king was the highest court of appeal. So justice was mainly in the hand of the king. All these features gives us a basic idea about the feature of the nature of the state during the Delhi Sultanate. Thus Fatwa-e-Jahandari gives us an important aspect of the nature of the state of the Delhi Sultanate, as well as it is an important book to know about the statecraft during the medieval period. Thank you.